r/ask Reddit. What do people think is healthy but really isn't? Low fat, 100% fat free. True. Technically, a bag of sugar is fat free. Tic Tacs are technically sugar free even though they are almost 100% sugar. If a portion has less than 0.5 grams of sugar then it is sugar free. One Tic Tac is less than 0.5 grams. Want to have a guess what the manufacturers declare to be a portion? You guessed it, one Tic Tac. Haha. Where I live the supermarket has pre-sliced garlic that is labeled as fat free and gluten free. No shit, it's garlic. You laugh and say no shit, but there is a reason it is labeled and that is most likely because quite a few people asked. Absolutely anything Gwyneth Paltrow likes. Mayo yeah ma pass on jade eggs in the vagina. Don't forget to steam your vagina regularly and use a vampire repellent spray. She sells that for real. Else some farmer shill might vaccinate you while you're not looking or something. I don't understand how that company is allowed to make the claims or sell the products they do. Vitamin water. It's stacked with ridiculous levels of sugar and no vitamins. I love that in the lawsuit against them for just this reason. Their argument was something along the lines of, no reasonable person would think vitamin water is a health beverage. Sure. Diet water zero right? It has only 60 calories. I'll take a child size please. 512 ounces right? It's roughly the size of a small child if the child was liquefied. Fat-free food. Yeah, to make up for the loss of fat they pump it full of sugars. Besides that, your body needs fats. Fats aren't some evil, bad, chunky boys. Our body relies on them. As long as you don't receive too much of it and it's mostly unsaturated fats, you're good. Plus, a lot of tastiness is stored in the fat. Someone at my baby shower asked if they could eat the Angel Food cupcakes because they had egg whites and were technically fat free. I didn't have the heart to tell them that the sugar in Angel Food would cancel out any egg whites and fat free benefits. Corollary. Eating a cupcake at a baby shower doesn't make you fat. Just eat one. Gluten-free food is for people allergic to gluten. It's not some dieting trick. As someone with a gluten allergy, I am grateful for ignorance on this topic. Gluten-free foods used to be hard to find, but thanks to its popularity, now most major grocery stores I go to have entire sections for gluten-free products. Yep, but now you also get groups incorrectly labeling in order to cash in. Remember a while back when Papa John had gluten-free pizza crusts that they prepped on the same counters as the other dough, along with wheat flour to keep it from sticking? Lot of celiacs got sick from it because the dough itself might have been gluten-free, but the end product was not. I worked at Domino's when they came out with a gluten-free crust. We were supposed to make sure we warned any customers that ordered it that it wasn't for someone with celiac disease. There was also a warning on the box, but I'm sure not everyone made the disclaimer, or were even aware of it. Shielding their children from every conceivable horror in the real world until they're 18 and naive as duck. Straight up let your kids get scraped knees and watch an R-rated movie every once in a while. This was my wife. Parents shielded her from everything. Needless to say, she went a lot, crazy when she got to college. Go on. She married this guy. That about says it all. Granola bars. The one I was eating daily had the nutritional value of a Snickers. Granola bars were always meant to be a portable, non-perishable and high-energy snack which is automatically going to have carbs and sugar. Reminds me of the breakfast cookie shit people make and then they somehow decide it is healthy because it's not bacon or chocolate. I don't even understand. Popularity edit. On the topic of advertising, very few brands actually advertise as health food. They advertise to active people, and I think the effect of seeing healthy people in the advertisements is part of what gives that false sense of nutritional value. Smoothies from smoothie shops. They use sorbets, ice creams, and juices with an insane amount of sugar in them. My sister worked at a smoothie shop and people would always come in after going to the gym. It's not what most people think it is. I find myself craving smoothies after the gym as my body is desperate for a sugary cold drink, and I remind myself that I'm a chubby penguin and move on. The place I work at actually doesn't make them with anything more than frozen fruit and coconut milk. The prices are horrendous though. vaginal washes on a daily basis so it smells like lavender instead of what vaginas are supposed to smell like. It's unnecessary and changes your pH down there and predisposes you to infections. Vagisil is terrible. I got a yeast infection from using it. Years ago when my doctor found out my mom and I were using it, he recommended that we stop and only use unscented bar soap. But even then you don't need to go to town with it as long as you're clean. The stupid cleanses. Your body naturally gets rid of toxins and stuff. You just need to drink water. If you need to clean anything, it's your liver. Give it 6 weeks without alcohol or drugs, it'll thank you for it. That's hard. Can I just have a yucky tea once? Seriously folk? Silver over a joke about being too alcoholic to save my liver? Not that I'm complaining since usually Reddit hates me. The food pyramid that was popularized by the USDA is a terrible idea. A lot of people today have realized this, but many older folks still see it as the Bible of good eating, and they are very fat. The fact that it's pyramid not triangle means there's 2 secret sides. The forbidden fruit and Dippin' Dots for sure. The first government recommendations on nutrition came about during World War II food rationing, and the recommendations had more to do with availability than health, which is still the case with modern food pyramids and nutrition recommendations. They're a compromise between health and affordability, which is why the food pyramids created by every nation has their cheapest crop at the base, that is, wheat in the west and rice in the east. So, yep, government food recommendations shouldn't be treated like instructions for great health. The recommendations, like everything that comes from the government, are riddled with comprise and industry lobbying. The recommendations are also designed so that 95% of us are intelligent enough to follow the instructions, but one-size-fits-all approaches usually aren't great for any one single person. Most everyone should read a book or 2 on nutrition and find a diet that works best for them. Getting into a relationship to say help fix men someone. Those stupid juicing detox programs. Your body's liver and kidneys naturally detox your body so long as you drink plenty of water. This whole notion that you are detoxing your body with juice is asinine. There's something about sitting on the toilet for the whole weekend that's really appealing to some people, though. Hell, have a hard night of whiskey and stouts and you'll clean everything out on the toilet the next day. Whiskey shits are the best cleanse. Dedicating your entire life to your work without an outlet separate of it. Same goes with overbearing relationships. You will begin to resent whatever you enjoy if it's the sole reason for your existence. Saw something like that second one the other day. A kid literally 16-17 who was saying, I'm scared of dying alone. How do I go about getting a GF wife? My advice was not to worry about a GF or how you'll die in 60 years, but to get happy with himself. Get friends and a hobby or 2. If they meet someone, fantastic. But if they force a relationship, it'll end up with them entirely dependent on the other person and the other person likely resenting them for putting that much responsibility on them. 100%. I work in a corporate office setting and it's sad how many of my peers think working 10-12 hour days is something to brag about. First off, the company doesn't care about me enough to warrant working that many hours. Second, we're not out here saving lives so it benefits nobody except the higher ups. I do my 8 hours and bounce the duck out. You ain't catching me working that many hours just to get a few brownie points here and there. The vast majority of salads at restaurants, a handful of lettuce buried beneath fried chicken, cheese, and ranch dressing. Don't come at Cobb salads like that. I fully agree with you, but I get grilled chicken salads because I like them. I'm a fat guy, so when I get one at a fast food place they probably think I'm trying to be healthy. But some days I just feel like eating something cool instead of hot food and I love grilled chicken. Sometimes I get a vegetable only salad, but if it was for health reasons I'm sure I'd have defeated the point with ranch or blue cheese dressing. It might be just as high calorie as the burger, but it's way more nutrient dense a lot of the time. It's certainly not worse for you than the burger, so I say go for it. Bottling up their emotions so others don't have to hear it. For most people, emotions are like farts. You may struggle to find a good time and place to let them out, but if you never let them out you'll explode. Randomly breaking down crying in the shower counts as emotional release, right? I think a lot of millennials and Gen Zers are beginning to catch on to how bad it can potentially be. But I think dedicating your life just to work is really unhealthy. I mean, fair enough if you have a job you really enjoy. But even so, if you dedicate almost every waking moment to your job, there's a problem generally. It's not a great attitude. Live to work. I can't stress this enough. I had a job like this where I was working 70-80 hours a week as a salaried employee. Cuts continued to happen and the responsibility continued to pile on. I was out of shape and probably would have died young if I continued working there. I made a change and my stress levels have decreased significantly. I'm eating right and I'm getting enough sleep. Getting lemonade or some other juice, rather than soda at a restaurant. Or even having it at home. I started to drink more apple juice than soda at home and I quickly noticed that there's way too much sugar in there. I usually add water. Tastes a lot better. Me too. I have like 20% fresh juice and 80% carbonated water. Really nice. Gatorade. Not a healthy alternative to soda. Drink water. But it has what plants crave. Water? You mean like what's in the toilet? It's for athletes. It's a sport drink designed to fuel performance and replenish valuable sodium lost through sweat and provide an energy source. Regular Joes aren't meant to consume it. I drink a bottle when I am hungover. Fat-free doesn't mean miracle weight loss. Panera bread, granola bars. Fat-free usually means shitload of added sugars. Marijuana. While it can have positive effects, it does have negative effects too. I don't hate weed, but it's annoying how there are people who refuse to see the negative effects weed can have on people. It's a drug like any other and it will impact people differently. Weed was vital for my ex to deal with his chronic illness. On the other hand, edibles ducked me up pretty bad. Activated charcoal. It's amazing if you've been poisoned, but it absorbs good nutrients and medications as well. I'm getting so sick of seeing it in everything. Declawing cats. It's literally amputation at the first knuckle. Painful as duck. Healthy alternatives. Regular trimming and scratching posts. Not gonna lie, I used to tell myself if I ever got a cat, I'd declaw them right away. I hate the scratches, the damage to furniture, etc. Then I heard how it's done. Now I just decided I'll never get a cat. I can't do that to an animal for selfish reasons. If I can't deal with the potential consequences, then I'm not fit for one. There are plenty of cats sitting in shelters that have already been declawed by their past owners and could use a home. The amount of comments here saying something that literally no one has ever claimed or thought to be healthy is staggering. LOL, the comment 3 below you is harrowing. I was a manager of a Jamba Juice for a year or so and people used to come in BC, they got it was healthy, but the most commonly ordered smoothie by this crowd, apples and greens, the small size has 44 grams of sugar. Most of the smoothies are packed in sugar. Organic food. Dude, rat poop is organic. Just because it has organic label doesn't mean it's healthy. The inability to be separated from one's partner, for a slightly extended amount of time. There is often more than love there. That shit starts to border on already as codependency. Subway. Yeah, sure, you're for meat. Footlong. Cheese-filled sub is way better for you than a standard tuna butty, you unquestioning bellend. Once read something like, Subway, the only place where eating a whole loaf of bread is considered healthy, changed my whole outlook. Organic. Chemical-free skincare. Basically replacing helpful and safe chemicals for your skin with irritating ingredients, food, and essential oils that would just make things a lot worse. Sure, it works for some people, but it's not exactly a good thing to tell everyone that chemicals are bad. People often forget that we, and our skin, are actually a chemic composition, and not all of these are harmful, but are actually good for you. Intuitive eating. Lots of junk food are designed to make you feel like you need to consume more of the food after eating. Snack food companies try to design their snacks so that by the time your hand falls away from your mouth and back to the snack bag, you're ready for another one. The ultimate goal is automatic eating, where you stare at the TV and your hand goes from bag to mouth without any conscious effort on your part. I read that fact in a magazine years ago and started experimenting with pouring my snacks into a small bowl and leaving the snack bag in the cupboard. Amazingly, my snacks lasted much longer. That green juice stuff, it's way too sweet to not be bad for you. I mean, come on. It's just as sweet as a glass of Tropicana. Do you really expect me to believe that it's this detoxifying ambrosia that everyone claims it to be? Non-GMO products. The non-GMO project label is on thousands of products and is used as a marketing ploy. Less than 30 varieties of plants, corn, wheat, etc. even have the potential to be GMOs as of right now. GMO products have been heavily researched and no difference between non-GMO products have been found. Any kind of substitute for something viewed as unhealthy, though I understand it's hard to quit unhealthy habits, so I still think it's a step in the right direction to find an alternative. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.